When it comes to tactical RPGs, and in particular indie titles in the genre, it can be hard to find titles that stand out with unique or interesting mechanics. But Telepath Tactics Liberated from the one-man studio Sinister Design does just that. Sinister Design actually reached out and asked if I would be interested in doing a review of Telepath Tactics Liberated and his upcoming game Together in Battle. So just to be perfectly transparent, I was sent a free copy for review. Regardless, I will still endeavor to give you my honest opinions on the game, so you can decide if it's worth your time. So what is Telepath Tactics Liberated? It is a tactical RPG similar to older Fire Emblem titles, but with a particular focus on some unique mechanics around pushing and pulling your enemies along with destructible environments and environmental hazards. It also has a robust campaign creator where you can create your own characters, stories, and maps, and even share these with other players. The main campaign and story has you following two sisters on a mission to rescue their father from the slave mines of Tarion, the big bad guy of the game. Along the way, they'll recruit more people to join the cause, giving you access to a variety of units, all with different specialties, such as the Kineticist, which can push and pull enemies with telekinetics or attack with mind blasts, or the Pyrokineticist, who throws fireballs, or even a giant golem that attacks with a saw blade. All these along with your normal sword and board type characters you would expect in a fantasy RPG. Overall, I thought the story was okay. It keeps things moving, it's easy to follow, and provides reason for what you're doing. There was an overabundance of female characters in both your army and the enemy groups, comprising probably 80% or more, which I thought was a little strange. Without an in-game explanation for this, it just felt a little weird and out of place. However, every character was decently developed and had a reason for coming along with you. And considering this story was the work of just one person, it's actually pretty impressive. As with most tactical RPGs, the story isn't really the focus though. The battles and mechanics are, and Telepath Tactics Liberated does these really well. So battles still work out like most tactics RPGs. You'll get to choose which units to deploy and then move and attack on a grid-based map while trying to achieve the particular map's objectives. Which brings me to my first thought on the battles. The objectives varied quite a bit, which helped to make each battle more interesting and unique. While you would have the typical kill-all enemies, you also had objectives that would have you performing a rescue and then escaping before you were overwhelmed, getting certain characters to specific points on the map, or even blocking off spawning points of enemy reinforcements. The variety and creativity here is refreshing. Mechanically, I always appreciate a facing and backstab or flanking mechanic in TRPGs, and Telepath Tactics Liberated delivers on both. You do bonus damage if you can get around behind the enemy, and the Thief class can even get extra damage from attacking from the side. Of course, the enemy can do this too, to your characters, so you have to be aware of your unit's facing as well. Your unit's facing can be changed as long as they haven't attacked, but if they have attacked or performed any other turn-ending action, they will face the direction they were facing when they performed that action. Positioning then becomes very important as well, as you are unable to move through your own units. Though you are able to move units without ending their turn, allowing you to move someone one space over, move up another unit, and then move the first one back. Each unit's turn only ends upon performing an action, though some actions don't end a turn and allow you to attack twice or move, attack, and move. You can also undo moves so long as no one has performed an action yet. This system was actually surprisingly good at making me have to think more strategically in how I moved each of my units. Now let's talk about the more interesting mechanics like the breakability of everything, or the pushing and pulling into environmental hazards. So everything from trees and rocks to the walls and doors of buildings is destructible in Telepath Tactics Liberated. A locked door blocking your path? You could find the switch that opens the door, or you could just beat on it until it breaks. This system adds some tactical freedom that a lot of other TRPGs just don't have. That tactical freedom continues in the use of the environment to harm your enemies. Several units have push or pull abilities that can be used to force movement on your enemies. You can push enemies into water or lava, which stuns them for a turn and also damages them, or even push them off cliffs into the abyss and instantly kill them. Many of the maps were created with this in mind too, meaning you get plenty of opportunities to take advantage of this, and it's a lot of fun just to push enemies to their death, or even slam them into each other to hurt both the pushed enemy and the enemy they were pushed into. Continuing with the theme of tactical freedom, you also get access to an engineer class, who can build barricades, traps, and bridges. The engineer isn't a fighter. They can smack people with a wrench, but that's about it. Where they come in handy is in making your own path, and then blocking that path to keep enemies from following you. Some maps will have bodies of water, lava, or other large spans that you are expected to traverse by hitting a switch and lowering a bridge. If you bring the engineer though, you can avoid the switches and the enemies guarding them by building your own bridge. Then once you have everyone across, you can put up barricades to slow the pursuing enemies down. I was able to do this to great effect a couple of different times, and could have used it even more. Sinister Design has done a great job of allowing you to play how you want to play, and I always appreciate when a game gives you an objective, some tools, and then lets you figure out how to play from there. When it comes to leveling up your characters though, this is a linear progression. Each character will unlock new abilities at certain levels, and there is no character building here. You get what you get. Though your choice of characters and team combinations to use gives you some team build variety. At level 20 though, you do get the option of choosing between 2 advanced classes for each of your units. Altogether, the game contains 16 base classes, 32 advanced classes, and hundreds of skills. Lastly, for gameplay, there is a durability system on your weapons, though it isn't prohibitive. You generally have enough time and money to purchase new weapons and prevent this from being an issue. But you do need to check your weapons each time you're at a shop, or you may find yourself unarmed in a future battle. The shops also carry some unique items or weapons as well that more than just buff your damage, can improve other stats, or even give you new tactical options. So now that we've talked about the mechanics, which is by far the best part of this game, let's talk about a few things that aren't as strong. So if you've watched up to this point, you may have noticed that the graphics are not top tier. But this is a one-man indie game, and if you're looking for top tier everything, you're in the wrong place. That said, the graphics aren't bad, they're just indie. The attack animations are actually much better than I would expect, and the terrain and character sprites are decent. After playing games like Tactics Ogre Reborn and Redemption Reapers, it took me a second to adjust, but once I got going, the graphics were okay. Honestly, I'm glad that the focus was on the mechanics and gameplay, because that's what I find most important in a game anyway. As far as performance goes, I did notice that immediately after loading up a save, the game was a little choppy, but that would only last for about 30 seconds or so and then it would go away. The enemy turns seem to take a while just for the sheer amount of enemies, but this can be sped up via the settings menu. Finally, I did encounter one bug that forced me to quit and reload up my last save when the action menu just disappeared and I could not get it back. I was able to end my turn using a keyboard shortcut, but then the game locked up on the enemy's turn. Which brings me to saving the game. The game autosaves only at the start of a new map, not the start of every turn. You are able to do a manual save at the start of every turn, however, which I would encourage anyone playing to do. None of these shortcomings, though, are bad enough to negate the good this game has to offer. The tactical freedom and fun, engaging mechanics really shine through and make for an enjoyable game experience. On top of that, the game has several difficulty tiers as well, including ones where units are lost forever when killed, which really raises the tension on each map. It has a good tutorial to get you started, and it includes a ridiculously detailed campaign creator for those with the time, where you can create characters, maps, story cutscenes, and even your own items. If you're looking for a new indie TRPG to play while waiting for the next big release, Telepath Tactics Liberated could be just what you need. However, the game is $25 on Steam, which is a little high I think for what you get in the main campaign, which will take you about 12 to 15 hours to complete. Now, if you plan on playing other campaigns created by other players or creating your own, then this price might even be a little low, considering the power of the campaign creator. Personally though, I'd say if you ever find this one on sale for $20 or less, pick it up. That said, Sinister Design is about to release his next game, Together in Battle, on the 25th of April, which builds upon the foundation of Telepath Tactics Liberated. So keep that in mind as well, and stay tuned to the channel for more on that game once it releases. But for now, if you want to see more tactical RPG and RPG goodness, check out this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and keep on gaming.